It works. It works. In the words of, oh yes, it was a 1980s movie. Oh my word, it's working. Good evening, friends. Good evening and welcome to Little Port Christian Spiritualists this fine, warm and toasty Thursday evening. And of course, a big welcome. They're back, look, we're back. Hello, we're back. It's working. Shh, don't tell anyone, it's working. We are back online, so please do not swear much, Barry. I heard what you said earlier. But of course, we haven't got the screen on to keep the heat in, because opening the stage means it's more area to heat up. So we are, of course, online. So hello to everyone at home. Good to see you. And of course, another face that we haven't seen in a while that I'm so excited to have back, treading the platform of Little Port. Please give a very warm, uplifting welcome to a very good friend of this church and our medium for the evening, Dora Sheridan! Now, yes, I've got to mention this because I'd be in trouble if I didn't. One of the I tell you what, not only that, it's a really, really good link thing. One of the most important things I believe about this way of life is the passing on of the baton to the next generation of mediums, the development, the learning, the growth, the passing on of thoughts and ideas and the teachings. And in our opening sequence, for those that have not been coming since she passed, one really, really big exponent of our way of life, Reverend Wendy, was a huge, huge fan of pushing through the new blood, giving different and new mediums a chance. And I've got to tell you, I've never told you this, and I'm putting you a bit on the spot. But I remember that when Wendy and I were talking just before she passed, she said, and I'll tell you another good one. And I said, oh yeah, what's that? She said, Dora Sheridan, not only is she a genuine true exponent of this way of life, think of how many newbies she's dragged kicking and screaming onto our platform over the years. And it's true. Dora has introduced many new mediums to our platform over the years. And I want to thank you for that, because that's what this way of life is about. It's bringing forward the new blood. It's bringing forward the new fresh ideas and the new ways of working. And I know it's something that you're particularly passionate about. We were talking just before we started about fledglings. And if anyone's not doing anything at 5:15 on Sunday afternoon, we have our monthly online service. And that will, in essence, be a fledglings evening, because the mediums, plural, serving on that service will be faces that you might recognise. This Sunday coming, online only. Oh yes, after the workshop, 5:15, don't panic. It's me that's having a busy day, love, you'll be fine. But yeah, there'll be faces that you recognise, because 3 of them have stood on this stage and 1 of them was behind him on the screen. In the summer, we ordained 4 new ministers. We ordained, we had ordained 5, because Eunice was ordained on the same day. But Cherry Ann Bodman Barnes, Jen Stevenson, Trace Lapworth and Jane Devonshire are having an online fledglings evening on Sunday afternoon. And I just want to celebrate that fact, because I know it's something that you're passionate about. And I know something that Wendy was passionate about too. So if you're not doing anything, you can go online on Facebook and YouTube and watch them, support them. I have 1 space left for anyone who wants to come online and get a message. I will say, in their credit, they had a trial run on their circle on Wednesday. Eunice was one of their recipients, and we all know that she can be very discerning in terms of her requirements of mediumship, and she was singing their praises. So that's something really exciting to look forward as they take their next step in their development. And of course, to anyone else who's sitting in workshops or development with me, just watch out, you might be next. Uh, and of course, we know that there are many people of different levels of development and growth who come to our workshops and circles, who have their own mediums and fledglings, who also pass on fresh blood to us, as we've recently had with lovely Sarah. So it's always exciting to push the boundaries and grow this way of life from the grassroots up. Of course, speaking of this weekend, before the fledglings, we've got our workshop, £15 including food. Mum's buying soup this weekend, ready for it. Oh, no, tomorrow morning, in fact. She said she's also going to make a slow cooker rice pudding as well. So, exciting times. So there's the workshop on Sunday, which is £15. And then before that, on the 23rd of November, this coming Saturday, we have our open day, where there'll be crystal reading, healing, drumming, mediumship, general discussion and chat. What? Yeah, why not? Read them as well. Readings, crystal healing. Yeah. All right, Barry, I'll get my grammar right one day. Speaking of which, she just said hello. She's up there. But sorry. But yes, so we've got our open day, really exciting. It's free to enter, so do come along and have a wonderful, wonderful day. So it's a really, really busy weekend for us here at Littleport, so lots to look forward to. But first, let's begin our service as we always do, with an opening prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, divine, universal source of all, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends, to unite under a banner of love and hope and friendship. As we begin this service, we ask that the veil be lifted and that those from the spirit world can step forward through your instrument tonight, Dora, who we ask for healing, upliftment, love and laughter to shine upon her from your world, so that we might witness that proof and truth that life is indeed eternal. And as we place this service in your care and keeping, we make the statement as ever, that everything we do is in love, truth and light. Amen. Yes, lots going on. Notice that I didn't say any times. Saturday is 12 till 4, Sunday is 10:30 till 3:30. Bada bing! All exciting because I got the times right. I haven't got a lot to say today. I was looking at the wrong person, wasn't I? Because I've actually already said it. I've already said it. The growth of this way of life comes from inspiration, sharing, and support. It is through sharing, it is through support, it is through mutual respect and guidance that this way of life can continue to grow and flourish. When people come together, when organizations are formed, where rituals and plans and plots are formed, people are always involved. And it is people that get in the way. It is not the original concept. It is not the original teaching. It is not the original intent behind what has been set up. Because the original intent is channeled from spirit, through spirit, to spirit. Every single way of life, every single religion, every single spiritual philosophy began with a thought, with a hope, with a dream, and an inspiration from spirit. It is only human beings that interfere with it and get it in the way. And let's have a little bit of a festive theme. Hang things on it like baubles on a Christmas tree. There is no conditions in unconditional love. There is no separation in the human family. There is no separation and species variance when it comes to the living spirit of all creation. We are one, we are united, and we are strong when we are united. We only divide ourselves when we create borders and boundaries and separation. And it's funny, really, because people talk about this equally eternal, mortal battle between religion and science. You know, it's almost as unending as the battle between Skeletor and He-Man. Everyone says they'll always be at each other's throats. And science and religion are deemed the same. But I saw an interesting video from a wonderful, wonderful astrophysicist who was talking about the possibility of alien life. He didn't share his opinion as to whether there was or wasn't, but he did share his opinion as to what would happen if there was. They would fly into our solar system. They would see a beautiful golden hue around a wonderful blue, green, and grey orb, drifting and spinning around the sun. And they'd look at it and think, oh my word, how beautiful that is. Let's go and have a look. And the closer they would get, they would hear our transmissions and hear our frequencies and see what we've done. And they would look and they'd say, they've divided themselves up based on skin colour. They've created artificial borders in their land. They argue over different pieces of material. This is a message from the bridge to engineering. Full reverse! Get us out of here. Because we have a habit of creating problems where there are none. Because we cannot tolerate hope. We cannot tolerate joy. We cannot find peace and solace in silence. But my friends, that's changing. The more I look around each week, the more I see people getting involved in different spiritualities that promote peace, that promote joy, promote upliftment. That hope grows, and so does the desire to break down barriers and boundaries and borders. Because at the end of the day, if we are able to knock down those borders and boundaries, we recognize that we are all one, in heart, in soul, and in our desire for hope. And when people say that hope is false, just remember one thing. Without adversity, we wouldn't need it. And I've never known hope when it wasn't on a diet. So no matter how slim hope is, always remember that it's there and it will not go anywhere. So hold out hope as we go into the winter months, knowing that the sun will rise again in the spring, that the birds will sing, that the snowdrops will come out the snow, that the daffodils will spurt out, and then 2 months later we'll be moaning that it's too hot. God bless you all and thank you for listening. And so now, one name that we do need to add to the healing later, of course, is our Eunice. Hello, we know you're watching, and if you're not, you're in trouble, and he'll tell you off when you get home. So this week, very kindly, Caroline has brought with us a reading. So please welcome to the front. Welcome to the run. I'm not that bad. Please welcome to the front for tonight's reading, the lovely Caroline.
Right, okay, this was written in about 10 minutes tonight, but I think it does kind of tie in. So, here we go, rushing, running all around. Let's take a moment and sit down. Life is more, must be desired, so think about it and admire. Just how good life can be, how much love that you can see in all around you and those you love, so think about it and look above. All the bad things that are here, you don't need them, just be clear. You choose your own way in your life, your path can be free of strife. Smile and be happy, love all the good. It's there for you to see, you should. It's easy, really, you will see just how happy you can be. So stop rushing, running all around. Do take a moment and sit down.
Beautiful. Brilliant. Yeah, and
Oh,
what I love
yeah.
is I just sat down and wrote it in 10 minutes. Not only is it brilliant for whatever time it took to write, but I do love how it ties in as a continuation of the spirit conversations. So, speaking of continuing conversations, we are now going to hand over to Tony, who is going to lead us all in our healing. So, if you'd like some, get ready to keep your hand up until someone's got the self behind you. But over to lead us all in healing, Tony.
Thank you. Oh, as ever, on a Thursday night, this is without a doubt the most important part of the evening, despite whatever else goes on. So if you would like some healing administered, just raise a hand. If you are prepared to give some healing, then find to where there's a hand raised. And if we're one short, don't worry, I'll get there. Okay. There, that's fine. Right. Going there? Right, I'll come there and then, can you do too? Okay, thank you very much. But first of all, as ever, Great Spirit, please, in your wisdom and in your power, send your healing powers down through our healers to the recipients that have asked. And at the same time, please protect those healers from anything that they don't want to receive. Healers, you have a couple of minutes to do your work. Thank you. Thank you, healers. If you can just bring yourselves back. Okay, whatever you've got to say, do whatever you've got to do. Normally I'll do this before the healing commences, but from the healing book tonight, Linda, Sylvia, Paul, Jane, Lena, Carol, Josie and Jenny. And please don't forget Eunice, who's sitting at home watching what's going on. And of course, Mandy, who we spoke about earlier. Thank you all, and thank you, healers.
And thank you, Tony, for leading us. And thank you, of course, everyone, for your involvement. And so in a moment, we are going to hand over the rest of this evening to the lovely Dora. I'm really quite excited. I'm also kind of amazed that we started about 5 minutes late. I went on a bit of a random rant in terms of the notices rather than the philosophy for a change, just to cheer Barry up. And obviously you now and all. But we're starting on time, so it was always to plan. It was always to plan. So please, should Dora come to you, please answer in a clear voice, yes, no, don't know. Don't feed the medium, she'll bite your hand off. If we need to evacuate the building, our exits are here, here and through there. You will have to pull the curtain to one side tonight a little bit. But most importantly, have a wonderful, uplifting evening and give a warm little port welcome to our medium and our friend, Dora Sheridan!
It's just nice to move. I was freezing. Well, good evening, everyone. So for those who haven't seen me work before, I do see, sense and hear spirit, sometimes not always at the same time. And I usually throw the evening over to them to just let them know how I'd like to work or how they would like me to work. The one thing I will say, if I do come to you, please let me hear your voice, because the one thing spirit can't hear is you nod, and they love to have that communication with yourself. Okay, let's have a look, see who's coming in first. Okay, I might pace. Are you all right with that? Pace, I might pace. Okay, so the first person I've got coming in is a female. I feel she's on the mother vibration here. And I know that if she comes close to me now, I know that she would have passed to the world of spirit. She would have had some breathing difficulties with herself. And I know I need to catch my breath a little bit with her. The age I'm feeling with her would be in, I would say, mid to late 70s with this lady. I don't feel she's very tall. I know I need to come down in height with this lady. So I would say she's sort of about, not far over 5 foot actually. So I know she's quite, I also feel that I need to broaden her out a little bit. She's carrying a little bit of weight, but she was right for me to say that. She's just smiled at me. I know that the persons that she wants to go to, I know that there would be links. This person who's got either family overseas or she was originally from overseas, please. Okay. The other thing with this lady, I know that she's a very natural type of lady as well. So materialistic things aren't the most important thing to her. What's important to her is the way you live. It's living is important to her. Having a good solid meal is important to her. She's a very natural cook, and I feel that a lot of her cooking is from the earth itself. So she's very natural at basic cooking, please. So I don't feel that she would be like a lady that would go down to Tesco's or none of that. The other thing I feel with this lady as well, I know that I'm seeing her with an apron on, so I feel she would got an apron on, and I know I need to do this apron up at the side, please. The other thing I'm seeing with this lady, I think she may have had little problems with her legs as well, because I'm sort of seeing like, you know, like those thick stockings that you would wear to help with the circulation. Does anybody understand this lady, first of all, please? Right. May I work with you, please? I'm just going to recap on some of this for you, okay? So the thing I'm hearing here is about the thick stockings. I'm feeling here as well, and that's to do with the circulation. Also, the pinny I've got here that I need to do up as well. Okay, and very natural cook. Everything was very natural with this lady as you cook, because I'm just seeing very large pots here going on at the moment. And I'm cooking lots of stews going on there as well. I also need to give you rabbit stew. She said that would be a memory as well, because I need to give rabbit stew as well with her. The other thing with this lady, as I'm seeing, I don't think she was very tall. Like I said, I need to come down in height, and I got a bit of weight on her. I feel she's very close to you as a vibration. So I don't know if this is mum, please, or no vibration I'm feeling with yourself. Right, okay. And the other thing with this lady as well, she was a very much of a hard worker within herself. Yeah. So everything, she had a routine. And it was literally up at the crack of dawn. She would do this. Everything was routine with her, wasn't it? Yeah. And there was no sort of going to bed late as well. It was cut off time as well. Do you understand that as well, please? Okay. The way she ruled her house like a real quite. She could be quite firm at times because she wouldn't argue back with this lady. Yeah, she knew her piece, and that was it. And you had to carry on the way she expected you to carry on. Sorry, she's talking so fast. Keep up with her. So there was an expectation with this lady how to behave. Yeah. I know that she had trouble with her eyesight as well, please, towards the end. So I know I want to put a pair of glasses on her as well, please. But I know she struggled with that. I also need to knit with this lady. So I don't know if she did knitting, but I feel like I want to knit with her. And she was very good at knitting because even as she's doing it, she's not even looking at anything, is she? She's just knitting away, knitting away. Yeah. I got some lovely bedspreads that I need to give you or that you would have had in the past, please. But they're like the patches, like the patches where you all join on the bedspread and you put them over the bed. So I know I need to give that to you as well, please. The reason she's coming in for you today is because she wants to give you that strength that she says sometimes you don't recognize in yourself. She was a very strong in character, this lady. Nothing would really put her down. Whatever happened, she would just rise up and carry on going because that was the way she would think. Yeah? And she wants to give you the same form of strength there. She said you have that same strength. You just have to recognize it sometimes. Yeah. She said she knows that the cold is bothering you. It's bothering me. It bothers everybody. But she said she knows the cold is really bothering you and you're feeling it in your joints. Yeah, very much so. Okay. The other thing she's talking to me about is a set of earrings that I need to give you. But these are earrings is like you don't wear them. Like they're stored and it feels like they're either been come down from family or they were a gift to you. Yeah. I don't think they were actually from her though. No. Okay. And I think I'm just saying what I'm feeling here, what she's saying to me. I feel that they were a gift from your husband. Yeah. And you don't wear them, but you store them. They're very precious to you. Yeah. Okay. The other thing she's sort of saying to me is, because I know I've got more than one person here with you as well tonight, as well, because I've got a few family members here tonight. Okay. The other thing I want to say that she's saying to you is that she admires yourself. You do a lot for other people. And she was very similar in that nature, wasn't she? Yeah. Whatever somebody needs, she would do it. And it wouldn't matter what it was, she would provide if she had it. That was the sort of person she was. She would open her door to people who needed that. Yeah. I've also got somebody, please, that I'm seeing here around you as well, that would have been in a wheelchair. Do you understand? I don't know if that's connected to her. Yeah. So I know that she's just bringing that into play as well for you. Okay. I'm going to leave her love with you. Before I go, I need to give you a brooch. And it's a brooch that I feel that you may have. Yeah. So I know I need to give you the brooch as well. And I need to give you some very odd things, but she wants to give you a set of earmuffs for some unknown reason. Yeah. And I think sometimes earmuffs is not to keep out the cold so you can't hear. It's because sometimes it's either too much talking going on around you. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's like sometimes you feel like you just need to dull that out. And it's almost like she wants to give you that for yourself. Okay. So I'm going to leave her love with you and I'm going to say, God bless you. All right. Let's have a look who's coming in next. Okay. Okay. I've got a man that's come forward. And this gentleman here, I feel that he would have had a bit of a dodgy leg, as he's showing me, because I feel like I've got a bit of a limp as I'm walking here with him. I don't feel that I'm very elderly either, and I feel like I'm in most probably sort of my late 60s, early 70s, round about that age group. And as I'm looking at him, I feel like I'm quite tall with him. He's taller than me, so I feel like I'm like 5'8", sort of 5'8", 5'9", that sort of height. And I'm also quite slim as well, so I've got quite a slim build on myself here. With him as well, I know that he's saying to me that he worked really hard, and I feel like I would have wanted to work outside with this chap. I don't want to work inside a building. I need to be outside. So I don't know if I'm working on the land. I know I need to be out. I've also got boots on my left feet as well, so I know that I would wear boots or wellies most of the day, please. This man as well, as I'm looking at him, I just feel that he, okay, as I'm looking at him at the moment, he's just making me aware that there was a lot going on around him. I do feel that he had family, but a lot of the time, it was really what was mattered to him was, again, how he provided. He had a bit of a structure of himself. Again, a man, I feel like I want to work on the land with this man, please. Does anybody understand this gentleman, please? Not yet. Let me see if I can get a bit more with him. Okay. I'm also hearing the name Alf. I don't know if it's short for Alfred. I'm hearing Alf. So it might not be him, but it could be connected around him, please. I'm also seeing tractors. I need to work on tractors. I don't know if he does the work, but I'm seeing tractors there with him as well, as I'm looking at him as he's out on the land. I know that he would have had a dog as well, so he's talking to me about his dog, but his dog never needed a lead. It just walked beside him. Yeah, okay. Let me recap a little bit. So I'm feeling quite tall, this man, quite more slender build, yeah. I'm sort of feeling late 60s, early 70s sort of age group as I'm looking at him. I mean, you might not have passed around about that, but that's what I'm looking at him. I need to be out on the land with him. I feel like, and like I said, I'm seeing these tractors and the dog as well, but this dog just walked with him. He didn't need a lead on or nothing like that. It was quite an elderly dog. I think the dog passed quite old actually to the world of spirit. Yeah. The other thing I'm seeing with him, would you understand the limp as well? Because he's making me aware that he's got a bit of a problem with his leg. So I feel like I want to limp a little bit with this man. Okay, I'm getting told on that thought will come back. Okay, so as he's coming in as well, he was very structured type of chap. This man. I just felt everything was very routine with him, wasn't it? And again, what was important to him was how he provided. Would you understand that? Yeah. The other thing with him as well, I don't feel that he was very materialistic type of chap either. Okay, so for him, he wouldn't even bother really if he didn't have new things or anything like that. He would have things until they literally fell apart. Yeah. And he'd recycle things, wouldn't he? Yeah. So, and I'm seeing quite bizarre things that he would recycle. He's just given me a sink, a kitchen sink. But I want to, I think I want to put plants in it or something. Is that right? Yeah. So he's just given me the sink to put plants in. So he would recycle. And I'm also seeing these chimney pots. He's got these chimney pots here as well that I'm seeing. Nothing ever went to waste because he didn't believe in wasting stuff. He would just constantly use it over and over again for whatever reason he wanted to use it for. As he's walking around in his wellies, because I'm looking at him at the moment with his wellies, but he was quite a casual chap, wasn't he? Very casual. And he did work really hard, but he loved being outside. And I know the reason he's coming for you today is because he's saying you too have that sort of love within yourself. Yeah, just to be out into the countryside is your ideal thing, isn't it? You know, because he's saying when you're out there, he's almost with you there. He's walking with you, yeah. Because just that sense of having the trees around you, sort of going in a sort of a forest setting, or just being out in the country, that's what pleases you, yeah. He's also talking to me about time as well. So I don't think it's relative as to a watch or anything like that, but it's time. It's like you're questioning time. Yeah. He's saying too, he wants you to stop questioning time. Okay. There is no right or wrong time here. It's just enjoy the time. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's what he's saying. He's saying enjoy the moments that you have. Don't question time. Take that time away. Yeah. Okay. And also, as he's standing there as well, I need to give you a book as well, but this feels like it's a bit like a leather book for you. Would you understand that, please? I know that is something he just wants to give you as well. He said that's quite relevant. Yeah. And I don't know if it's inside this book or in another book, but you know when you have a dried flower, I need to give you the dried flower. I'm seeing that inside, and I think that is quite relevant to yourself as well. Yeah. He's saying to me that you have a love of nature, but you also love flowers as well, and that brightens that up. So to me, he's saying that the best time for you is like the spring and the autumn, actually, they're the times that you love the most. He's saying you're a very, very creative person as well. So you've got a lot of creativity, he's saying, around you as well. And did you know that, I know it was you that does the sewing or sews things or puts together, because I'm feeling someone's sewing here. That's right. That's what I'm sort of saying. It's very creative again. And would you understand that making that up yourself, please? It's almost like I'm seeing these like canvases here, yeah, where you're doing the cross stitch as well. So again, I want to give that to you. So I'm going to leave his love with you, yeah, and he's got an abundance of love. This man, he could. Sorry, he's just made me laugh. He said he could be stroppy at times. He could be stroppy at times. You never sometimes knew what sort of mood he was going to be in, really. It was like, depending on his face, it could change, couldn't it? Yeah, because he did like sometimes his own space, and he liked to be left alone some of that time. And if you sort of, you know, questioned him or anything like that, he could be a bit snappy at times. But he said there was lots of love there. Yeah, but he did sometimes like his own space as well. Yeah. I'm also hearing the name Ben. I don't know if you can understand Ben, or if it's around him or in the family. I can, yeah. Yes, I need to give you the name Ben as well, please. Okay. Anything else? No, I'm going to leave his love with you, and I'm going to say God bless you. Okay. Okay. That's who I've got now. I've got a lovely lady, and I say a lovely lady come through because she's just got the wonderfulest laugh ever. She's not very tall. I want to bring her down in height here. I say here, so she's not, I know she's quite small in height. She's quite elderly. I want to put her in her late 80s. So I know she lived to a really ripe age. Her hair was white, but that's because of her age, a lot of that. But she still had hair, even though it was thin, it was like, not curly, but it was sort of a bit like that, really. So she still had a kink and a curl in her hair, please. She was quite thin, this lady, but she has such a wonderful character about her, and she has such a giggle. I would say a giggle is a laugh with her. I do feel that with her, again, she had walking difficulties, but that I feel was due to her age, please. And I feel that she would either live in a ward and control place, or she was in an older people's home, please, because I'm also seeing this lady. She's got a frame, a walking frame, as she's walking, but she's the life and soul of her. Does anybody understand this lady, please? No, let me tell a little bit. I'm yeah. Let me say a little bit more about her. The other thing is with this lady, when she spoke, she was always very interesting. It's like you always wanted to hear more and more about her life. She had quite an interesting life, this lady. The thing that captures me more about her was her laugh, her giggle. She had this sort of giggle on her, like this laugh. Would you understand that, please? Yeah, let me recap on some of the things you can say and things you can't. Okay, would you understand the height of this lady? She was quite dinky, and again quite thin. Hair was white, yeah, and she had the frame. She had a walking frame. So she had the walking frame, okay. And her attitude as well, she was like, when you spoke to her, she would like really be like light up. Yeah. But I think she was like that in life herself. Because even though she's showing me this at this age, even when she was a bit younger, she's saying, a bit younger, she would just have this mighty laugh, this mighty smile that was so welcoming, made people feel at ease. And it's almost like she would lighten up the place. Would you understand her being in like an old people's home? Or, yeah. And I feel that she brightened up a lot of people there. Yeah, because she would give them what's what as well, wouldn't she? She would be quite communicating well with them, wouldn't she? Yeah. And she would say as it came out as well, wouldn't she? And so I can just hear her laughing at some of the people that's around her there. Yeah. But the thing about this lady is she had such a big heart, a real big heart. And I know that as she's coming into you today, okay, she just wants she wants you to remember as she was, not to the latter. Yeah. Because she's saying that too many people focus on the latter part of her life rather than her journey in life. And I feel that she had a really interesting life, this lady. I feel that she overcome quite a lot of challenges in her life. And I don't know that if she actually helped to serve people as well. So whether she was like a carer or something like that. But I feel in her lifetime that's what she sort of did. Yeah, would you understand that? Yeah. So I know as she's coming for you today, it's really just to say that I'm feeling a lot of love with this lady going forward. And I feel that she is a relation of yours. Would you understand that? Yeah. Okay. So one thing she's saying to me as well, in her day, because okay, she's really talking. In her day, she was quite presentable, wasn't she? She liked to look good because I'm feeling I want to look good with her. And I just looked at your scarf, but she too would wear scarves. Yeah. And even the way I'm looking at her now, she's also got a handbag. I know I need to put my hand under there, my arm. So I got a handbag. And she would always look well and presented. And her hair would always be nice when she went out. Yeah, that was really important, her hair, the way because she's got this lovely kink, hasn't she? Like this wave in her hair. Yeah. So, and then as she's even walking here, I just feel that quite a lot of people knew her as well. She was a very sociable lady, wasn't she? But she was very bright. There's just this brightness within her. And that's what she sort of wants to bring with you too, is to feel that light within yourself. Yeah. Because she says sometimes things can feel really heavy, but it's almost like she wants to lift the blanket up, if that makes sense, and to feel that lightness, to feel the joy, to feel the happiness, to feel the love. That's what she wants to really bring forward for you both. Yeah. I'm going to leave her love with you, and I'm going to say God bless you. Has anybody got a green car, by the way? A green? It's like I'm hearing about a green car. Okay, I might have jumped. Okay, I'll leave her love with you and say God bless you. Okay, the other person that's just come through now is a chap that's just come through, but I don't feel that he actually passed to the world of spirit very old, actually. I don't want to bring him that he passed to the spirit, I would say possibly in his 20s or early 30s. So he was quite young to the world of spirit. And the green car might be connected with him or around the family somewhere, because I'm actually seeing that this man actually quite enjoyed vehicles. He quite liked cars. And as he passed to the world of spirit, and I'm feeling that this man would have actually passed either in an accident, please, or I feel his life came to an end very sharply, very quickly with this man. Okay. I'm also hearing the name Dean. I don't know if that's his name or if it's Dean around the family somewhere, please. Um, okay. Does anybody understand this chat, please? Okay. I don't think that he would have I think he would have lived more raw as well. And I want to fix something. I always want to fix. I feel like I'm working on cars here with him. I always is into cars and like to work on cars. What else can I say? I'm also hearing the name Shirley. There would have been a Shirley somewhere in the family as well, please. So can anyone still take this? Not nobody can take this man at the moment. Okay, let me see what else I can get from. I feel this man, I will talk a little bit more about it, and if anything clicks, please let me know. I feel he was very good. He liked to socialise. I feel like I want to go down the pub. I want to play pool down there. I know I want to play darts. He was quite a social lad as well. What else about him? I knew he was a very friendly type of chap as well. But I do feel he passed the spirit quite young. As I'm looking at him, he's making me feel that he passed, I would say, in his 20s or early 30s, please. And it was fast, it was quick. So his passing was very fast. Well, nobody can take this man just yet. Okay, let's see if I can get some more from him. What else more can I get from him? Just asking him. I just feel like I want to play poker with him. I feel like he would have spent most of his time outdoors. I think he had a good job as well. I'm also hearing the name Paul around him. And whoever I want to go to, they've got a birthday that's coming up, please. They've got a birthday that's coming up quite soon. Okay. I was like really trying to find where he fits.
Yeah. Okay. You understand about the age? Because I'm sort of feeling it was either late 20. Yeah, that's a sort of, it's like late 20s, early 30s, that sort of age I'm feeling. And it was very quick, his passing. But it did feel like it was an accident. Did you ever know if that he worked on cars or he had a love of cars? So this was your brother's friend? Right, okay. And I'm also, did I give you the name Paul as well? Because I've just heard Paul as well come into place. Hold on to it because that, yeah, I feel like he was really like one of the lads, if you like, and he was very social. And I feel like I want to play darts, I want to play pool, and I want to play poker with him. So he was a very social lad, yeah. But I think the passing was really quite a shock, very much a shock to not just for his friends, but to his family unit as well. Okay. And I think that sometimes his friends are still thinking about him because they were quite close, this group. They did quite a lot of things together. Yeah. And I think his main message is possibly not for yourself, but to actually pass on. Yeah. And that sometimes that's how spirit work. If you're the link or the connection, I think he wants you to pass the message on to your brother, yeah, to let him know that he's absolutely fine. Because I think the thoughts, he's still in your brother's thoughts, yeah, because I feel that they were quite close, yeah, and I just feel that sometimes the thoughts in your brother's head, he's still thinking about him and about the time around that, if that makes sense, yeah. But, yeah, so I think his message is really to pass on, to really say that he's absolutely fine, yeah. But he's also, it's almost like you just want to say, I'm just going to say his words. It's easier, right? Because he's just saying, I love you to bits, bruv. And there's a lot of emotion from him there over to him, okay? But also not just to him, to others around him as well. Okay. Um, the other, he's still talking to me about this green car. I can't get rid of that. I don't know where that fits or whose car was green. Right. Okay. And they like music as well because what I'm also hearing is the stereo really down, round, right up here with the stereo playing. Okay. One of them must have played a set of drums or something as well. Would you understand that? Because I'm playing the drums here as well. Yeah. Was it? Yeah. Okay. So I'm hearing this. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So he's given me he's given me the set of drums. Okay, and the music is really up loud as well, so it's really blasting. It's almost like you've got those mega blocks going on there. Okay, but he's absolutely laughing here. Yeah, and he just wants to know that he's absolutely fine, and he just wants them to know that he's remembering them too. Yeah, and also to share those good times that we had. Yeah, and I'll leave his love with you to pass on. Okay, let's have a look now. All right, let's have a look who's coming in now. Okay, I've got a lady that's now coming in. This lady, okay, right, get a little bit more from her. First thing I'm seeing with this lady is a memory link of playing or having a jack in a box, like a child's jack in a box. As you wind it up and then the thing opens and it pops up. And I feel that's a memory link that she's just given me here. I feel this is like a mum vibration as she's coming in. And the thing is, this lady, I think that she loved to play with the kids. I just feel that she was always playing games, she was always playing toys, she was very creative, this lady. I almost want to make puppets out of wooden spoons with this lady. She was quite theatrical. She'd always like get the kids to dress up and they would reenact different plays and different things and musicals and things like that. So she was so very, very involved with her children when they were a lot younger.
And I know that as this lady, I also feel that she would have passed it as world of spirit. I would say somewhere between, again, about 70, 80. I do feel that she had a health condition. I'm hearing cancer. It may not have, but that's what I'm sort of, she's making me sort of feel here with her. She was very family orientated, this lady. Um, I'm also asking her some names around her as well. I'm hearing, I think it's Paula. I'm also hearing, it may not be her name, it could be around the family, please, as well with her. And I'm also hearing, I think it's Joe, I just heard her say. As I think it's Joe or John, I just quickly heard her say as well. That would have been, and a Peter, I've just heard a Peter as well, she's just given me it as well. So I feel that family was very, very, very important to this lady. And I know that she took me back in time for me to be able to see that. Would anybody understand this lady, please? Okay, let me carry on with her. The other thing I'm just asking her for a little bit more. And the other thing she's just given me here, she's saying to me that there would have been pets around because I'm looking at a cat as well. So I know that there would have been a cat or kittens in the family she's just given. But again, I want to go back. I've also got a parrot for some reason as well. So I'm looking at a parrot as well that is in the household, please. Um, what else can she give me? The other thing she's saying to me about that there would have been more than one child because I'm looking about 2 or 3 children at the moment, please, around her. Anybody understand this lady? No? Okay. What else can she tell me about this lady? Okay. I'm also hearing Rose. I'm hearing a Rose as well. That would have been in the family unit. And the other thing with this lady as well, that because I know she took me right back to when she was sort of in her 20s or 30s as I'm looking at her, but I know that's not when she passed to the world of spirit, please. I'm also looking at her and she had a lovely pendant that she would always wear. She had always wore this beautiful pendant on her as well. I'm not feeling very tall with this lady. I feel like I need to be about 5'3", round about that sort of height. She had a good figure on her, this lady as well. What else can she tell me? So, and again, she would be very well presented within herself. I know that as she got older, there was a lot of care and attention that she required because of her health condition. But I feel that the children really helped with that support because they were older. They weren't young anymore. They were older. Does anybody understand this lady at all? Yeah. Okay, let me see where I'm going with this lady. Let me recap a little bit. So I know she wasn't very tall, about 5'3", that sort of thing. I don't think she passed the world of spirit very elderly. I want to come down in age with her. And again, I'm sort of feeling that she's sort of saying to me, I know she was again in a sort of, I don't know, late 60s or 73, something like that. And I said, okay. Also, I feel like she had cancer condition, please. Okay. And what I'm seeing is the children, and she keeps showing me these children. I'm either seeing 2 or 3 children here. There's a bit of a group of them here, yeah. But I know she took me way back in time to see that. She was a very good family member here. She loved the kids, and she would always be very active and very playing with them and joyful with them and interacting in all sorts of games and dressing up and all sorts of things with her. Do you recognise that with her? Okay. The other thing she's saying to me that she felt that the children were very supportive of her in her time when she was ill. Yeah. And I know the reason she's coming through today because I feel she was very close to you. Yeah. Okay. The other reason she's coming close saying to you is because she wants to say thank you. And it was a massive lot of emotion again coming from her. Yeah. But the love that she offered out to her kids, she felt that she got in return back. Yeah, at a time when she was very ill herself. Yeah. And there were times when she couldn't actually, almost like she couldn't even speak sometimes, she's saying. Yeah. And there was so much she wanted still to say that she never ended up saying. And one of those was thank you. Yeah. And she wants also, and I think this is very close to your heart as well, that she just wants you to realize that having that support made the world to her. And again, lots of emotion, trying to hold that emotion back from her. Okay. But I know there's a lot of love there with yourself. Okay. She's also saying that that was the best times of her life, not the latter part, but her life in general. She said that was the best time, and she never ever once ever regretted having her kids because they meant the world to her. Yeah. And she was such a wonderful lady, this lady. There was so much she had to give. Yeah. And she also wants to say that with this creativity that she had, where she would interact with things and dress up and make things, and that sometimes that was from nothing. She would just put stuff together. She would just go and check for the cupboards and see what she had, and suddenly she was making puppets out of wooden spoons. It was like, and she was doing all these play theatre things, you know. So that creativity has worn off, she said, on yourself. She said, and that's where you get your creativity from. She said, maybe not in the same way that she had it, making the puppets and etc. But nevertheless, that creativity has come from her. Yeah, and she's just so very proud. Yeah, and I want to leave her love with you. And I'm going to say God bless you. Sorry. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, I've got another mum through. She sort of really jumped the queue here. It was like, no, I'm here, I'm first. So this lady is, I want to say, you would know this lady existed. She never minced her word. If there was something she was going to say, she would certainly come out and say it. Okay, if there was a thought in her head, you would know about this thought. I don't feel I want to be high in tall with her. I want to come down in height. So I think that she was quite dinky in size. I want to put a bit of weight on this lady. She didn't care about her weight, to be quite honest. She wasn't bothered one way or another. You know, as long as that she was happy, that was all that mattered to her. She was very down to earth, very blunt lady. She could be quite firm at times, though. There was no messing around with her. You literally did as you're told, or you'd get a bit of a wallop. But she's smiling. But I want to feel that I'm feeling with her. She's a bit like old school. You know, if she told you to do something, you had to do it. There was no messing around. You didn't muck around at all with her. You really would get that from her if you messed around. Okay, the other thing with this lady, again, I want to say that again. I want to feel that she's a natural cook, very good at cooking. I'm always baking, I'm always cooking. It's non-stop with her. And the minute she gets up in the morning, that's that routine with her. The person I want to talk to as well, she's talking about the person I want to go to. When they used to go to school, they used to have like a leather satchel. You know, that the old-fashioned leather satchels that they would put on and go off to school with. So would anybody understand this lady, please? Okay, let me see what else I can get from her. The other thing was this lady, I do feel she had problems with her legs as well. So I know that she had difficulties a bit with her legs as well, she said to me. But her feet, I think, used to swell. So she would get like water on her feet. So they would swell up quite a bit. She would often wear just flats because I'm feeling like sometimes she would have like these Velcro slippers that she would have on her feet. But again, she wasn't very materialistic, this lady. She was just very busy within herself. She kept a nice, clean house. She was always on the go. The other thing, I'm just asking her what else she's going to give me here. I know she's just taken me in somebody's house. It may be in her house as well. But as I've gone in this house as well, I know I've got a bit of a high back chair here. And as I'm sitting in the chair, I'm just I've got a fireplace going on here, and I'm sitting in this chair here, and I'm looking at the TV, but I'm not really watching the TV. I don't really care what's on the TV, she just said. Okay. But she would be sitting there. She would have need glasses upon her face, please. Anybody understand this? Both to your right. Oh, sorry.
It's my grandmother.
Right. So would you recognise the house that I'm saying as I've gone in?
Yes.
I'm seeing the fireplace, I'm seeing the high back chair, TV's on, I'm not really watching, she doesn't really care about the TV, it's just on in background.
In actual fact, that high back chair is extremely significant for other reasons.
Right, okay. The other thing is as well, she wouldn't mince a word. If she had something to say, she'd say it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you messed about, you've got the clip.
Yes.
Totally. Okay. But again, I feel like her house she was very busy in the house. always kept a clean house, always cooking, natural cook with this lady as well.
Yeah.
She's talking to me about a belt.
Yes.
There's a relevance there.
Yes,
I
there
think
is.
it's her belt. I'm not sure, but it's belt. I'm feeling that's quite important.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I need to give you that. She said
Thank
that's
you.
significant.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And she's talking to me about, I don't know if it's a memory link. She's showing me a school tie. Right? Would you understand the leather satchel?
I do understand the leather satchel.
She's talking to me about this school tie. And I'm just going to say what she's sort of telling me here. There was something about the school tie. Whoever it went on didn't want the tie on.
Yes.
And it was almost like you have to wear it.
Yes.
You have to wear this school tie. It was like a school tie. That's what it looked like. And it was like, I don't know if she taught that person how to actually do the tie properly.
She
It's
tried.
like, I want to do like she showed me like a Windsor knot. But it's like trying to show this person how to do this Windsor knot. And it just wouldn't sink in.
No.
Hello. And I can feel her frustration as if like, okay. It's almost like I'm hearing her say, I just want to strangle him. I was like,
yeah.
It's just
That's
doing this with the tie. Yeah. Because of her frustration. But she was, everything was like, she would make sure the washing was done. Everything was, you know, when you really starch those clothes, like the shirts and things like that, she would definitely make sure all of that was done. And I've also got a pot here. I actually want to boil some of my stuff, my clothing.
Yes.
I want to boil some of the washing. Yeah. In order to make it really clean. Okay. As she's coming in though, I just feel a huge amount of proudness. A huge amount of proudness. Yeah. And but she's actually laughing. Okay, because she could be quite stern at times, couldn't she? Yeah. But I feel she's actually quite laughing now. What she's saying is that, so I'm just hearing that, never listen, never listen. But she's so proud because she said it obviously did.
Yeah.
It obviously did.
I go now.
Yeah. I got the time right. I'm going to leave this her love with you. And I'm going to say God bless. Thank you, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dora Sheridan! Right, I've got to say this. You know that old saying, speak the devil's name, she shall appear. What did I say earlier on about my grammar being atrocious? It's all right, she's here. Well, there she is. She ends the service. Thank you so much. I've got a couple of, because whenever me or mum get a message, I do like to, share a few bits and pieces. I was very nervous when Gran Hall started talking her stockings. I'm always very nervous when Nan comes through talking about her stockings because she used to hold her suspenders up with polo mints. You did not eat polos out of her house. And I remember a time when she was ready to strangle me with the tie, but instead it was because rather than paying attention, I was biting my nails. And I saw this desire to pull the knot tighter. Instead, she went and got a pot of mustard and stuck my fingers in the mustard so I wouldn't bite my nails and pay more attention to her. This is a lady who got into huge amounts of trouble for being blunt and honest. And there is a very significant story about something running around her waist. Yeah, it's elastic. Because when she was in Tesco's one day, her knicker elastic bust. And she had one of these white plastic belts that, the old-fashioned. They're not leather, they're plastic. She had to take that off and give it to the member of staff at Tesco's, who she got about half a dozen of the section managers to stand round her in a circle in the middle of the aisle, so she could take her knickers off and put them in her handbag. Hi, Nan. So thank you so much. And I will just say, we started talking about development earlier. You've probably had this question a million times. When did you start becoming a medium?
I actually don't remember. I think even as a child, I was raised in a household where we would have spirits in the household and my mother would speak to the spirits. So it was very normal for me, even when I was in my primary school. I thought everybody was like that. It wasn't until I sort of got a bit older and realised, you know, I was going to school and said, oh no, I spoke to such and such, and they just looked at me like I was crazy. So I think it started at a very young age, but I didn't actually start developing it until I actually had my own children and started working in churches.
Absolutely. And the thing is, with the exception of having my own children, that's exactly the same for me. The reason I know this now is you mentioned the high back chair.
Yeah.
I used to sit talking to that lady that you was talking to's mother. Every time the telly was on, she would be sitting in that chair in the corner, and we'd be ignoring the telly and talking to each other. There's just one small problem with that. She passed away 6 months before I was born. That high back chair is my first memory of talking to spirit, so thank you. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Dora Sheridan! Well, friends, the time has come to say goodnight, for every service must end, but you'll always be there in our hearts, our special spiritual friends. Yes, I know I paraphrased a song. We have got lots to do. We've got a raffle. We've got a closing prayer. Please, though, be aware that the tea and coffee and biscuits is available, and there are some cheese scones left. So if you want one, grab one quick. I'm ready for the end of the service. I've got to say, it's been brilliant sitting there because the smell keeps drifting over my shoulders. Oh, bless you. Cheese and tomato. Oh, well, so there's cheese and tomato sandwiches and scones. So dig in after the raffle and after we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, divine, universal source of all, we thank you. We thank you for the opportunity to come together in friendship, in love and in laughter. We thank you for allowing those in the world of spirit to come forward through your instrument this evening, Dora, to prove without a shadow of a doubt that life is indeed eternal. And we thank you, Great Spirit, for all of the blessings that we share together in this wonderful friendship we call a church. As we go out into the world, let us take with us that message of unity, upliftment, hope, compassion, and joy. Let us remember that in adversity there is strength. Let us remember that in darkness there is light. And let us remember when there are those that are lost, we ourselves must be the ones that provide that hope. For we are all equally the sons and daughters and children of spirit. And so therefore, as we go out into the world, we make that commitment to be messengers of light, upliftment, and love. And so, as we go out into the world, I ask for a blessing to be placed on each person here present, the friends and families that they represent, so that your love might spread throughout the world. Until we meet again, in your name, amen.
Amen.
And as the saying goes, and that's a wrap. One time no more. A big thank you to our medium, Dora Sheridan. We will be back next week with the lovely, and I've got to be very, very careful because I'm very, very tempted to go down a fictitious character route. Our medium next week is Bill Turpin. So I look forward to seeing him and seeing you all here for Bill Turpin. We're going to have a raffle. We're going to have tea and coffee. We're going to have scones and cheese and tomato sandwiches. But for now, to everyone at home, from all of us here, after 3, 1, 2, 3, good night, and God bless.